Welcome back to another episode of CCW Insider, where we talk about the matches and stories from wrestling's last territory. I'm Ryan Joy, and I run MinutesToBellTime.com, a website and database tracking pro wrestling from around the world. On today's episode, I'm talking with Jessica Elaban, former NXT wrestler and current member of the CCW women's roster. Jessie has a ton of great things to talk about, including both her wrestling at CCW, her ambitions at CCW, her creative side, the competition currently going on at Maxim, and this is a short interview, so you'll be able to listen to the whole thing in about 10 minutes. So do tune in right now for the interview with Jessie Elaban. I'm talking with Jessie Elaban. She's an artist, collegiate athlete, spent several years at WWE, but she's here because Jessie is one of the newest members of the Coastal Championship Wrestling Women's Division roster. Jessie, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Ryan. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me. It's earlier than I usually get up, but for CCW, it is worth it.
That's awesome. Well, we're really glad to have you wrestling in the last territory at CCW. Can you tell us how that opportunity came about and some of your ambitions at CCW?
So as you guys know, I've been a free agent for well over 6 months, and I started to just go for it. So I have, I guess, a mutual contact that was like, hey, like you would probably kick some ass here if you just try. So one thing led to another. I got booked for a match against Anna Diaz, and granted, it was not easy, but I believe that they saw the potential I can bring to CCW in this promotion. So then I got booked for another one with another victory. And then I also have another match June 25th with CCW as well, which will also be another victory for me because Jess is more.
That's Tracy Nix on June 25th, Patriot Games in Port St. Lucie, Florida. So folks, get out to definitely watch Jessie on that show.
Oh yeah, I've never faced Tracy at all before. I didn't quite hear about her before this, but I do my research. I've watched her matches, and I'm kind of impressed, so I think she's going to put up a good fight, but in the end, like, she's going to know that she's less than Jess, and that's why Jess is more.
That's the hashtag, Jess is more. So you are someone that spent a good deal of time at NXT, both house shows and television. CCW is a different animal altogether. Can you talk about some of the things that you like about working at CCW?
Absolutely. So one of my favorite things with CCW thus far is that it's super professional. It's well put together. People are on their game from the moment that you walk into the door to the moment that you leave. And as someone who's new to the independent scene, having heard like maybe some other horror stories from other places, and it's kind of like, you get nervous, but I feel very well, I mean, maybe not necessarily welcomed by the competition. Well, because if I was, then I guess I wouldn't be a threat. But as far as everyone else goes, like it's been an absolute pleasure, and I would encourage other talent, like, make a stop at CCW.
Absolutely. So I want to talk about in a sort of a different aspect of your personality. You are intensely creative, and you can see that right in your background. You're an artist. Your work was featured at the Orlando Museum of Art recently. I wondered if you could tell people sort of about your art and kind of what inspires you.
Oh, hell yeah. So like, I didn't have everything growing up, or I guess I kind of had an interesting childhood. And with that, it's kind of like I didn't quite learn how to communicate well with my words, like in interaction. And so I would turn to art to put my feelings out. And I feel like it's the one place I can go where I'm not wrong. So I've always had that confidence, like, well, if I'm just going to make something and it is what it is, it's the truth of what I'm feeling, and you could take it or leave it. But I've also found like everyone has a different perspective too. So most of the time up until this year, I have not named any of my art pieces because I just want to leave it to the viewer to just absorb and just feel what it is to them. And then when I ask them, it's kind of like I get to see their perspective, and it's like I'm probing inside their mind, which
Oh,
is very, I guess, as someone who loves psychology, it's very interesting to see what other people are thinking. And then um, it allows you to understand a piece of the world that you didn't know existed. So I love doing it. I'm never going to stop doing it. Last year, I was among one of the top 20 fundraisers for celebrities with Hearts of Reality for Give Kids the World. So if I could, like if I'm not kicking somebody's ass in the ring, like I'm doing something for somebody. Like my goal is to inspire and empower.
I always ask people with athletic backgrounds outside of wrestling, and I know you have one of those as well, about transferable skills. But I thought it would be interesting to hear sort of what you think kind of transfers into wrestling from your creative side.
Okay, so like I feel like with the creative, the possibilities are endless. And when you have that mindset, you can go in any direction, especially with my opponents. Like if I feel like they are like intimidating, or if I feel like they're stronger than me or faster than me, or like I mean, it's hard for people to be better than me in a lot of ways, but if I just feel like maybe a little like maybe this will be a challenge, I could create a weakness for them. I can create that.
Oh,
And
interesting.
that's a beautiful thing.
Wow, I really had no idea what Jessie's answer was going to be to that question about transferable skills from her creative world into professional wrestling. But that's so interesting to she can actually create a weakness in her opponent. Fascinating answer to that question. But one of the things that I have found so inspiring about Jessie so far is that she does have this creative side, and in such she also uses that creative side to do good in the world. And she talked about the fundraising and such like that. Well, that's not all she's doing. She is also trying to become the 2022 Maxim Covergirl. And with that, she also is layering on more benefits for the world outside of just Jessie. So it's not just about becoming the 2022 Maxim Covergirl, but we're going to let Jessie tell you all about it right now.
Yes, Ryan, thank you for this opportunity to bring that up. So, right now, what's going on is the competition for the Maxim Covergirl 2022, and a bunch of people applied, and I was lucky enough to be like pulled out into one of the groups. So this week has started the first round of voting. If you go to the link in my bio on my Instagram, on my Twitter, it's at Jessica Elaban. Just click the link and push the vote button. There's also another vote button where you could support, another charity for military veterans to help rebuild their homes or remodel and things like that. So if you want to make a donation there, like you have an opportunity too. Like I said, if I'm not in the ring, I'm trying to help somebody and help promote those things. And so like with the cash prize, what I intend to do with the money is to create another fundraiser to donate even more money to people who need it, specifically people and kids, young minds, and stuff in need of art supplies who don't have any. Because if you know and have the confidence you can create whatever you want, you're unstoppable.
That is awesome. So everybody make sure they go and vote for Jessie.
Please, thank you. Vote for Jessie. It's a lot of rounds of voting, so it's like every week, and like so every at the end of every round, like if I'm still here, I'm going to select a winner who voted for me, like for my own personal contest, and then send them something special, like an autograph or like 8x10 5-minute phone call, like cool things like that to keep everybody engaged.
And I was just looking, you're first place in your group right now. So everybody needs to keep that momentum rolling. So,
Oh, thank you so much. Really
all
thanks.
right. So back on CCW. So you have been very outspoken about your one goal is getting to KiLynn King. So she's sitting at the top of the mountain right now. What is sort of your message for KiLynn?
She already knows. I'm coming after that title. I'm coming after her. She's not, she calls herself a king, but well, let me back up for a second. I can respect her work. I can see how hard she's worked. I've actually followed her for quite some time because I like to study people. I like to see how they move. I like to get to really understand and know how they think. So even before the match, like they're no longer a person to me. They're an objective. And I'm going to execute that objective because if you're not going to win, if you're not playing to win, then why are you even here? So that title is going to be mine soon enough.
All right. Is there anything about yourself you think that KiLynn might be underestimating or overestimating, or are you going to keep everything kind of close to the vest here?
I mean, my stuff's out there. My matches are coming up. She knows my match dates. She can look.
All right. So, like we mentioned a few minutes ago, the ultimate goal is KiLynn King, but we have Tracy Nix on June 25th at Patriot Games in Port St. Lucie. Jessie will be wrestling her there. So come out, see her there. Watch. I'm sure your matches are going to be dropping on Alive Wrestling any minute now. So, Jessie, anything else you want to tell the people before we get out of here today?
Please do. If you're interested in art too, like I do art collabs all the time, you can visit my Instagram at JAelectra, JAEELECTRA. Ryan, I want to thank you so much for your time, and everybody just keep following CCW. Like it's a hell of a promotion. They put on amazing shows, and I'm so proud to be a part of it. And I'm going to be even prouder to represent it when I am the CCW champion.
All right. Thank you, Jessie.
Attention wrestling fans, the place to be each and every Tuesday is on the Coastal Championship Wrestling YouTube channel, where a new episode of CCW Alive Wrestling drops at 7 p.m. Witness the hard-hitting, high-flying action that is synonymous with the longest-running independent wrestling promotion in the southeastern United States. Subscribe today and don't you dare miss it.
Well, that's our show for this week. And there was a lot in that interview. It was just a short one, but we actually got a lot of information out of Jessie Elaban and what her motivations are at CCW. So do come out to Patriot Games at Port St. Lucie on June 25th to see Jessie wrestle. We could be looking at a new CCW Women's Champion down the road. KiLynn King will certainly be a formidable opponent for Jessie. In the meantime, do follow us on social media. I'm Minutes to Bell Time on Facebook and Twitter. Be sure to watch Alive Wrestling every Tuesday night on the CCW YouTube channel and follow Coastal Championship Wrestling on Facebook and Twitter. That's it for this week. Another episode of CCW Insider is in the books. We'll see you next week. You have been watching CCW Insider, produced by Minutes to Bell Time in association with Coastal Championship.